So Cal, it ended all square here today. What was your assessment of the game?
Really frustrating. Frustrating watch from where I was. Probably very frustrating to play in and probably very frustrating to watch from the stands. Very difficult to play against, and it's not for anyone else to comment on how a team sets up, but to play with a flat back five, 3 deep midfielders and 2 forward players getting around our deep midfield players is very, very difficult to break down, because you have the ball in build-up situations with our defenders and there's no pressure on the ball, but you're potentially doubled up elsewhere. You play into a forward player and you're trying to open up a brick wall, which you've seen at the top level. I think there was a game in the Premier League about 2 weeks ago where the best side in the world very, very nearly couldn't do it against a team with a man less. But when teams choose to set up that way and concede any attacking intent, and fair play to them, I thought they put an unbelievable shift out. My frustration's probably, when we were really turning the screw there in the 90 plus whatever it is, well, really that was probably about the 55th minute of the game. And if something had been done about the constant restarts in the first half or the second half, do you remember when that was really important from PGML? And do you remember when the FA talked about that stuff and it was really important? And I sat in a meeting and was talked around, these added times are here to stay. And there was 2 minutes in the first half for 3 bookings. I think the physio went on 3 times. So that's probably my frustration. So aspects of our performance we need to be better, but very frustrated by the whole event this afternoon.
Nathan Woodford was sent off in the closing stages of the game for a second yellow card for what looked like simulation. What's your opinion on the incident?
I haven't got one. I've learned that over the recent seasons that not here to have an opinion. Everyone knows better than the people, certainly in the dugout or those on the pitch, when it comes to officiating. Everyone knows better. I've seen that at length. I mean, some of the things I saw the other night as well on Tuesday night, I thought was quite frustrating with my comments, because some of it was just, like you say, you can't speak about it. When the stuff was introduced around participant behaviour from players and dugouts, so we've had 4th officials introduced this season, and some of the things that went on the bench on Tuesday night, the comms kits, it's just, it almost feels like you've been demonised for having an opinion and you want to be critical. So well, I'll have to watch it back, and if it is, it's really frustrating for us to obviously go down to 10 and miss another body next week, which very quickly is becoming an FA Youth Cup game, isn't it, rather than an FA Cup game. I've got to focus on our performance. I thought we were off colour today. I thought we lacked quality around the penalty area. I thought we knew how to open up a team that are going to come and do that and failed to execute it. We didn't get enough quality balls in the box. We played with real width, but the quality in wide areas was poor. When the qualities improved as the games went on, we weren't in the right position to go and attack those crosses. So we have to take responsibility for that. It's very important that we reflect on everyone's performance, and it's impossible to not talk about that. The worst decision is the Dan Turner booking when Dan Turner is fouled and is cautioned. But I've seen it all week, so I've sort of gone past following any sort of process or making any comment about it. I've got to look after my team, who might have done enough to win the game but didn't do enough to give the best version of ourselves. Frustrating when we don't score at home, and we can be very quick to kick ourselves at that, because perhaps we've done it's a new group, that it's the first time we've played against that where a team want to come and defend that way. I thought we knew how to open it up. I thought we didn't execute stuff in the right moments.
On a more positive note, that is our 5th consecutive clean sheet here at the Diva. How pleasing is that statistic?
Yeah, like, being a bit of a hypocrite in comparisons with last year, we'd probably lose that game. We probably lose that. We didn't give them a moment in the game. I mean, Eli Harrison has stood. He's probably watched the second half from the Arimat Terrace. Yeah, pleased with the clean sheets, but we want wins. And I just thought we're forced to make changes. We had to limit Charlie Caton and Tom Pearce's minutes, who've been massive for us. That wasn't, and that sounds disrespectful to lads that are involved in changes made, but we physically had to do that. We've got such a small squad, we needed to protect them. It wasn't like we felt, we were happy with what we put there out on the pitch, but we just looked a bit disjointed as a result. Individual effort, brilliant. Collective performance, not quite enough to win the game, clearly. But in the same way, if we score a goal late in the game, it becomes brilliant. My frustration is, imagine sitting through, not about style, because it isn't right to talk about other team styles, but just do something about it so it's a 90-minute game. I mean, how funny was it when you put the keeper in the 77th minute? All that will stop him for the next 30, because you ain't giving him a second one. It's just, And I've sat in rooms and I've sat with officials and they've talked about how this is going to upgrade the game and it's here to stay. And I'm, like I say, a bit frustrated with that stuff. So plenty of positives to take a clean sheet. I said we'd reflect after 10 games. It's that 18 points or so from the opening spell of season, 17 points. It's 18 rather, sorry, to get my maths right and tell them. You look at that as a start and we've got to be satisfied. We have the opportunity to play the next 2 games of this block of games at home. We have an FA Cup game. That this is the problem for us, and for us to be competitive we have to have a small squad. As much as people can talk about us and where we should be in the division, for us to be even mildly competitive we have to split what we have to spend a certain amount of ways, and we lose, like I say, we've lost another one physically, 2 suspensions next week at Scarborough. It'll be really good that we will have to use, if we're serious about promotion, have to use some of those younger lads, those youth team. It might be time to recall a couple, but our lone lads are cup tied. It's going to be tough next week, but it's the FA Cup. We make it really important for us. But yeah, it almost feels like a long week with a long journey last Saturday, and a replay has caught up with us today with what is a disappointing result.
Carl, thanks for your time.